Welcome back, guys, to part 2 of wrapping the MR2. I told you in the last episode that I have to split it over 2 parts because there's a hell of a lot of stuff to do. You've seen what I did in the first part, which was like the driver's door, passenger door, bonnet, headlight covers and wings and stuff like that. Did the boot as well last off. So off camera I have done, so to update you, I've done the vents both sides. They are a pain in the ass. There is join there and bits there and bits there, but I'm not sticking with these vents. Later down the line I'm hoping to get some extra side skirts, so I'm not overly bothered, but from here they look absolutely fine. That strip still needs doing. When I did the passenger door, because I did that off camera, did it perfectly, so the strip's still in it and it's perfect all the way down. So I've actually, is that a bubble underneath? Yeah, I've got a bubble now to that strip. So what I'm going to have to do is trim that. But the strip is perfect, so I'm just going to leave that one in. Wrap the other side. Same issue on this one. I've just done this today actually. A couple of joins, nothing major, but again, from distance looks perfectly fine. Front you'd already seen because we did all that on camera. So on the front end of the car, it's leaving me the front bumper, this trim that goes up and over the windscreen, this quarter to that quarter, and this roof piece. That's what I'm hoping to do next. And then the rear bumper. The more I look at the bumpers, the more I'm not overly scared about them. They don't look too bad. There's not a lot of weird shapes. I think the front's probably going to be worse than the rear. Don't really know until I try it. Oh, and I did these engine pieces as well. I've just put them back on. I did one and my missus did the other because she wanted to have a go, so she did. Yeah, so it's starting to look like a blue car now. I reckon with 50% blue, easy. But 50% blue with 3 big bits to go, which will drastically change the way it looks. It's at the end of the day. We're on Wednesday in this week, and I've just been doing the other small bits like I mentioned, so I ain't going to start the big bits right now. But for you guys it doesn't matter, you can continue watching and you will see me start the next bit, which will be that piece. I reckon I need to wash it. It's freaking filthy. Car's not going anywhere, but I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it is filthy, and obviously I need to now clean the car before I can wrap it. I took off the spoiler, as you can see. Took off these bits. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to take that out. I have to pull that clip out and pull that clip out. Don't know what to do with this aerial. I've undone it on the inside, but I can't actually get it out. I need to have a look on the old internet to see how to get it out. Bit of rust. I'm wrapping straight over them holes. Again, it's a bit of a lazy way I suppose, but that's exactly what I've done in the boot. Wrapped over the holes. Not bothered. It's supposed to be a track car. I have to keep reminding myself, track car, track car, track car, track car, track car. But a bit better looking. That's all I've done it for, just to make it a bit better looking. I say track car, it's supposed to be a road car, but I want to take it on track. And that is the plan. Right, let's switch to the next day. So it'll be Thursday now. Thursday. Welcome, it is now the next day. I've charged my camera up. It's now time to start wrapping these sides. So I've got the lighters off, I've got these spoilery bits off. The paint's crap there. You can see that they use that as a line between the original paint and then the paint that they've sprayed on. It's made it crap. I'm going to do this side first because I haven't figured out how to get my aerial off at the moment. My fiance is going to have to come and help me because it's that big a piece. I'm going to need a bit of help. She doesn't like being on camera, so I might just get her to film me. But I'm going to have to get the most part stuck on. Or at least the big bit stuck on, and then I can show you. Because she won't want to be on camera, so let's crack on. So the wrap is laid on at the moment. I've not took the backing off because I've been shimmying it around and moving stuff. And everything is in place with magnets. Still got the protective on the top as well as the backing. Just trying to figure out where is the best place to start, and if it's best to start in the roof and work my way down. I just don't know. I might do that. I'm going to end up with a join somewhere in the roof. I don't know how to sort the join out, so I'm just going to wrap over there, and then when I do the other side I wrap over here, and then I'll try and cut it in the middle and peel off the bits that I don't need. But for now I'm just going to leave it all on. Just want to give you an update. This is where we're at the moment. This was relatively a pain in the ass. The hardest bit was actually coming down the wind a bit and trying to keep the rest of the material straight. So you see I've got bubble and that here, which I can sort out, and I've got a couple of lines there which I can sort out by pulling the material that way. Hopefully I can do the same up there on that corner with a bit of stretching and shrinking and stuff like that. But she's getting there, getting blue, and there's definitely a lot of imperfections underneath. But it's better than it was. So I feel like I've been doing this wing now for like 3 hours. I don't actually know how long I've been doing it. I don't think it's that long. I bet it's nearly 2 hours. I've got the roof line to trim. I'm going to leave this as far this way until I do this side, until I figure out where I want it. Preferably I want to join, you know, in the middle. I didn't want to join, but I didn't have a choice. That's as wide as my roll was. My original intention was to do it the other way around, but from this point here to the door was wider than my roll by about 5 centimeters, so I couldn't do it. There are some issues. I don't know if you can see on camera, but there's a line running all the way around there. That is the difference between that old paint underneath and the paint that was underneath the spoiler. I'm not bothered. It looks better than it did. I haven't split this. I'm leaving that wrapped as one because this piece isn't going to come off at any time soon. So I'm just going to leave it wrapped. Got a couple of bubbles that I'm trying to press out. Is that a bubble? Oh no, it's just a reflection. That's alright. That's a hole. Need to cut my fuel flap out. I managed to keep the door strip on this one as part of that piece as well, because it's wrapped nicely. So that's good. So that's one more thing I don't have to do. Hopefully I can do that on the other side as well. Look at these bits here. Don't like that either, but I'll resolve that when I put new skirts on. I'm just trimming the window, and then I have the roof bit to do. Fun and games, and then I'm having a break for dinner, and then I might even do the other side tomorrow. Because my back's aching from bending over and just like slicing with the knife ever so slightly down the rubber seal, and and my friends are on Xbox now. I'm playing on Xbox. If you want to play on Xbox with me, because I like playing on Xbox with my subscribers, add me. Bloodshot, spelled with 2 U's. Bluudshot. Alright, I'm gonna carry on. So my camera died earlier and I'm not quite sure. So a good hour ago I finished wrapping. As you can see. Looks good round here. Nice and neat on the arches. Still need to cut the fuel flap out. I've wrapped the blue strip with it as well. All nice and neatly wrapped. I just need to cut out around the fuel filler flap, and I've left the blue strip wrapped over so it's nice and neat. So that one's done and that one's done. I've actually wrapped the little one, but it's in the garage. It's just the driver's side that I'm going to have to wrap separately. Didn't trim this out. I left the roof left the roof piece joined on, because it doesn't, as far as I know, it doesn't come off. If it does, then it's not going to come off. It can't come off in 30 years, so it ain't going to come off again. But she's starting to look like a different car now. Looks good as well. I'm trying to think what colour to do my wheels. So, silver, black, I don't know, copper, who knows. But yeah, she's looking good. Need to crack on with the next piece tomorrow now. So it's now the next day. I have my next sheet cut ready. I just took the aerial off, finally figured out how to do it. Let's get that bit of a wipe up. The aerial had like a big castellated, not kind of castellated, but that nut on the top which actually undoes. I don't have a tool to do it, so I ended up doing it with pliers. But I did it. Need to give that a better clean. I'm going to wrap straight over the hole for now, and then if I decide I want to put the aerial back, then I will do. I'm going to end up with a hole there for now. But I'm ready to put the wrap on now. I'm going to try it differently this time as well, so I'm going to try and put it on from the middle and work my way up, instead of from the top and working my way down, because it got really awkward on the corners pieces. But you know, you live and learn. Now time to do that one. So far I managed to get this end bit on. Pull them creases out nice and easy as we lift it up and pull it over the edge. It's not an issue. Now it's got this nice shiny stuff, I can see more damage on the car. That is reflecting the dents back more. Ah well. It's so freaking hot today. I bet it's like 20 degrees. It's not the ideal temperatures really to be wrapping in, I don't think. It's made it very stretchy in places. And there's still a couple of places that I can't get the air bubbles out of. But for the most part, I've even done the trim on the bumper because I had that much material that was nice and neat and straight. Just got to trim off around here, trim off top of the window and the roof, and then this side is wrapped too. And there we have the other side piece, all nice and trimmed up, nice and neat. She's looking good now. Get that bumper done. That's the back end finished. And then I've got this bit, the mirrors, that bit, and then the bottom sills that I'm going to wrap as well, but last. Crinkly. There's some paper in my hand. But yeah. And in some lights, I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, if the sun's straight on it, it's blue. But if, like at the moment where I'm looking, the sun's directly there, but that bit over there and over there on the roof looks a little bit purpley. So it's like a blue and purple in the sun. It really is. I can proper tell it there. I've got a blue spot there and then it goes purple. Like in the back of the window is purple. It's crazy. I love it. Time to crack on with the next bit. Or I might do it tomorrow. So we're back and it is the next day. About to wrap the bumpers. Luckily for me the bumpers aren't that deep. You can see down there. Here is one strip. It's 2.8 meters long, which is probably the longest thing I've ever wrapped, but it's only about 70 centimeters wide. And I managed to get the front bumper and the back bumper out of the same like full width strip, which is good. Which has still actually left me. I've still got this here. See, there's maybe 2, maybe possibly 3 meters worth. I'm not sure. Maybe not that much. Maybe 2 meters worth. I'll have a look later. And I've still got like the sills to do, and they're the last big things, but they're not big, they're just long, if that makes sense. So got more than enough to wrap the old car, which I'm quite happy about. My missus is currently taking the rear, well, I've took the rear number plate off, she's taking the glue off where it sits. So while she's doing that, I'm going to take the front number plate off and the front lights out, and then we'll be good to wrap that as well. So I'm going to crack on with that and get it ready for wrapping. So I've got the front bumper stripped down as it needs to be. So the badge is off, although there is some paint damage underneath it, and the glue is off, that's just damage of the paint. Give it a wipe. You can see that there's bubbles in the paint, there's a bit of split paint on them little bits of the bar as well. But it's clean, it's ready to take the wrap. I'm about ready to give it a go, I think. But I'm going to need my fiance at some point, I think. So, and she doesn't like being on camera, so it's going to make it a little bit awkward. But we'll film what I can. Fun times ahead. Front bumper. It's a pain in the ass. It really, really, really is. I'm going to try and not get you on camera, Grace, but you know, your legs are somewhat like doing. Or your hands. So what we've done is we've tried to get it on this bit first, and then try and work it up and around. But it's a pain in the butt! And it definitely requires 2 of us, just to help move sheets and stretch it and all sorts. Look at my fiance's side, she's doing a lot better that side than I am. Grace, you're almost on camera. Almost. Your arms and your feet are on camera. And your head in the reflection of the vinyl. Well, I just thought I'd give you an update because she doesn't like being on camera, so I'm not filming a lot at the moment. But this is genuinely hard, taking a lot of time. Alright, Speedy Gonzalez, stop rushing ahead your side. I haven't done my side yet. This is by far one of the, well, the worst piece I've had to do so far. Trimmed it across the tops as you can see and around that light, and I've got it shaped to there. But I've now got to mirror this side on here. And this is what you have to deal with, because there's so much extra material because of the way it's shaping. You need to keep pulling and stretching and pulling and manoeuvring and twisting and, well, maybe not twisting, but you got to pull this out essentially. There's no slits in that corner, it's just one piece, and it just takes time, guys. It's hard. I definitely have to take this top cover off as well to help stretch. But I've kept it on as long as I've needed to keep it protected. But yeah, what a pain in the butt. Ta-da! It's finally wrapped, and it was a pain in the butt. Now I've still got a few little bits to do, like the black strip here needs redoing. And I've had to split it, and I need to fill it in around there, and then I've got the bar bit to do. The reason why it's like that is because of the shape of the bumper, and there was there's not enough material left to do that bit. And when I get to this strip here, I had to bunch a lot of extra material up here and trim it out, cut it out, so I could make that cut and make that cut underneath. It was a bit, well, it was the hardest thing I've ever wrapped, that's for sure. And I had a lot of help from my fiance, and it was a pain in the butt. Unfortunately, we was a bit short here, so we've had to put a little extra piece in. Just need to tuck that down. But the rest of it was good. You can see the damaged paint underneath, but we have the badge, and the badge can go back on there. Or I could leave it like that, I don't really know. But I do like it without that number plate mount on it. And it's going to look a bit crap with it on. But it's going to have to probably go back on. But the front end of the car, except for the windscreen, is now blue. It's now the next day after doing the front bumper. Which, well, I say doing, I've still got to patch it. And I'm just doing up and over the windscreen, but I'm doing it in 3 separate pieces, because I'm going to end up using a massive piece of wrap and having to cut out the windscreen to do it in one. So I'm just doing it in 3 pieces out of some offcuts, because it makes the most sense. And I probably should patch that bumper, I'll do that as well. So the windscreen surround is now wrapped. I have a join here, I have a join in the same place on the other side, but you cannot see it unless you're up close and personal. The car looks great. I've patched in around the fog lights. Up close they look a bit nasty, but when you take a step back you can't tell. I didn't realise when I cut the vinyl a bit too short in there that I thought this was flush with the bottom bit. It's not, it's flush with the top. So yeah, I do have a couple of creases there, and I've had to put a patch piece over it, but I'm not really bothered. It's my first ever attempt on a car, and that bumper was hard, and I'm not willing to freaking take it off and retry and do it. But from this distance on the camera, I think it looks wicked. It looks crazy without freaking wing mirrors. It looks awesome. And there's no number plate, which looks nice too. But I'm going to have to put the number plate back on at some point. Now I need to tackle this back bumper. So I have that to do, and I have the sills. The sills should be relatively easy because they're just straight and flat. This is going to be a pain in the ass. Time to crack on with these, I think. Done the bottom skirt. As happy as I'm going to be with it, because I want some other skirts for it. Now it's time. I can see your legs, don't move them. Now it's time to do this bad boy. We've got the middle plate taken off. Now it's just a case of hoping for the best. I'm going to try and get some footage of this one as it goes on, hopefully. I'll get Grace to film us.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't want to waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't want to waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways.
Well, the back bumper. From a distance, it looks okay. But as you get up close and personal with it, it looks a bit naff. But to be fair, it looked naff to start with. So, from here on camera, it probably looked fine. But in reality, I could not bend and get this shape. I just couldn't get it in the material. So I've got a join, and another join, and another join. All these marks and dimples are all knackered pieces in the paint. That's a hole underneath. I have another join down here to bend it and get it that shape. It just would not bend the way I wanted it to. So, but it's my first attempt, and that's what I have to keep telling myself. My first attempt. The rest of the car's not bad, but this back bumper is a pain in the ass. But it's still going to look better once it's wrapped than it did. And that's what I have to keep telling myself. A little bit depressed with it, because it is a pain in the ass. But I'm going to get this side trimmed up, and then I've just got the middle and then the other side to do only. And then a bit more on the number plate. And to trim out the number plate as well. All fun and games. There we go, we have a blue bumper. And it was horrible. It's by far the worst thing I've wrapped on the car. It looks the worst, but for now it's blue. And it's supposed to be a track car. I have to keep telling myself it's a track car, so I can live with it. Like I have a join. Then again this side, join. There's creases galore in it. I just found that the hardest shape in the world to wrap, and I didn't think I would because of the straight part here. But then yeah, it was horrible there and horrible down there. I just had too much material, just didn't know what to do with it. Couldn't shrink it, there was just too much. Either way, from a half squint and a good distance, it looks alright. And I have a complete car. Well, sorry, I've done one skirt. I have another skirt still to do. When I say skirt, I mean sill. Still got that sill. But other than that, nearly complete. So, I'm going to finish this video here. I might take a seat. I'm going to take a seat. Where's my seat? Let's get my seat ready. Let's take a seat. Hope that you can see me and the car. I'm going to finish it here, mainly because I want to unveil it in the next video, fully complete, on the road with the number plate and that on it. And it'll look a bit better then. Heard somebody. And I can unveil its name, and its new finished bodywork hopefully, so the number plates and that should be back on too. So a couple of questions I've been asked while I was doing it. What is the worst thing I've wrapped on the car? Hands down the bumpers. Front bumper in comparison was easy compared to the back one. So the back one is the worst thing I've had to wrap on the car. How much did the wrap cost me? 250 quid, 255 quid. How much did I order? I ordered 15 meters by 1.53 meters. So if that works out in full. Do I have some left over? Yes, look, you can see it on the seats, and I've still got a couple, maybe 2 meters left. But I'd order 15 in case you just need extras. Do I have enough to do the bumper again? No, I don't think I do. And I ain't in a rush to do that bumper again anytime soon, because I'm just not that bothered with it being a track car. Am I happy with the finish? Yes. Could I do it better? For a first time, no, I don't think I could do it better for my first ever go. Second time round, I've definitely learnt new techniques, and yeah, second time round I could probably do some parts a bit better. Things like the bonnet and stuff like that, I can't do any better because they were dead easy. But shrinking and curving and stretching and stuff like that is something you just learn as you're doing. Plenty of videos on the internet, but until you do it and you realise and you can see what the material is doing, it's not something I don't think you could just pick up without actually doing it. Am I happy with it? Yeah, I am happy with it. And look at it! She's blue! I have a blue car with purple on the windscreen. Looks so much better without a freaking number plate on it. But yeah, I am happy. I have learned where not to cut. Like I'm cutting things short, and I've had to patch. Are the patches on the car? Yeah, hell yeah, there's freaking patches on the car. Can you tell? No, unless you're close. Patches in both of them corners. There's a patch on that corner. The bumper's full of patches. Headlight and bonnet are not. There's a freaking patch there that I can see. Oh yeah, and what annoyed me is the way that I'm gonna have to trim that, I think, because it not stick. The gap in there was silver, so I've just banged some blue in there, tried to stick it down. it's not stuck down very well, so I'll pull out whatever's loose. But it means now you don't have this silver line down there, or grey line as it was. What else have I learned? Make sure everything is as clean as you could possibly make it. I've wrapped it outside for my first ever time, and yeah, there's dust and that in it. But things that you don't necessarily think about, where it's going to wrap up to, like underneath the arches, I thought were clean. Gone and wrapped under there, and it's not fully clean, so then it's not stuck, so then I've had to trim it. It's just stuff like that. Oh crap, I forgot the mirrors. Yeah, I'll have to do the mirrors as well for the unveiling, I think. Yeah, make it a complete car. Yeah, I'll put the mirrors back in. And no, the spoiler is not going back on. Hopefully you can see in this light all this bobble effect. And the little side pods are exactly the same. So the reason why it's not going back on, because there's another one I want anyway. Well, anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Make sure you've liked this video if you've enjoyed it. Share it with your new friends. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I'm well over 500 now on this channel, on the extra channel. So I really appreciate it. I haven't put a video out on the main channel for a while, but I'll get one of them done soon. Once I've done with the wrap, it's then time to do the coilover suspension, so make sure you stick around, because the unveil video and then the coilover suspension should be coming next. Yeah, and then we can get it lower. Oh, and then I want to paint the wheels. Oh, and then I want to try and make the lights look a bit better on the back. See, there's loads of things I want to do to it. So, goodbye MR2. Goodbye everyone. Stay humble. I'll see you in another video soon. Take care. Peace. Bye.